like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place.
Black history is about black people in his story. And as a believer in Jesus, I love discovering and hearing about black believers who contributed to God's word.
But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And he's allowed me to go up to the mountain,
While I'm sure you've heard of Mahalia Jackson, who could sing the gospel unapologetically, or the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who galvanized America's civil rights movement, I want to go back much earlier in the church history and give you some names of influential believers you may not know. Believers like Augustine of Hippo, who lived between 354 and 430 BC. Listen, when it comes to theologians, you have to mention Augustine of Hippo. He has shaped much of the way that we think about church and its functions in the world, along with the way that we understand the roles of grace and free will in one's own salvation. His most famous quote was this: "You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are relentless and restless until they find rest in you." Listen, that's still used by many pastors and writers as a way to encourage the church to turn from its idols. We can't forget about the black women who influenced the church with their very life. Saints Perpetua and Felicitas both were born in North Africa. Both of these ladies refused to obey the Roman emperor and renounced their faith in Jesus Christ. Matter of fact, Felicitas was pregnant at the time of her persecution, and in the midst of motherhood spoke volumes to the persecuted church at Carthage. She gave birth to her baby girl just days before execution. As she cried out in pain during childbirth, someone asked her, "How in the world are you going to ever endure the suffering of martyrdom?" She replied, "Now it is I who suffer what I am suffering. But then, well, there will be another in me who will suffer for me." Why? Because I will be suffering for him. We also have Tertullian, who helped the early church make sense of the faith by his work on the three-person nature of God, and even coined the term, you ready? Trinity. Tell me you haven't heard that term before. I'm telling you, these are just a few of the many black influential believers who played a decisive role in the formation of the Christian culture. I said it once, I'll say it again. This is not just black history. This is our history, and we are all a part of his story.